sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying, like, if you're going to go somewhere
Yeah.
and not spend, and like, I just want a good old fashioned American breakfast. That's Cracker Barrel.
I was going to say hanging, but come on, Internet. I'm kidding.
If you want
around.
a
It's
good
fine.
old fashioned lynching,
Yeah.
you go to Cracker Barrel. No, it's not like that. I like Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's amazing. Welcome to another episode of Don Draper's Den. On this podcast, we discuss branding and marketing, how it touches so many aspects of our lives. We also talk a bunch of trash about music and food and culture and nostalgia and each other and so much more. We hope you're entertained. Hope you get some insight from two marketing professionals like ourselves. I'm Chris. This is Ernie. In this episode, we get into logos,
branding,
super hard.
Cracker Barrel,
Barrel, and all their chaos and the haters, and Metallica comes up quite a bit, and stuff like that. So we hope you're entertained, guys. Please share, subscribe, like, comment, all that fun stuff. We want to blow this thing up, and as always, we appreciate your support. So without further ado, pour yourself a glass, and let's get into this.
All right, cheers.
Here's to you. What's with all the white lights, bro? Why are you so racist, bro?
I'm just trying. I'm trying to like see if we could lighten the tone of the video, the podcast video, just because it seems a little dark. So
you mean like the visual tone?
The visual tone.
You don't want to like all of a
visual
sudden
tone,
start holding hands and
right.
all that crap.
Because you know, I'm thinking like our topics are pretty light and we're just having fun and laughing. So try to make it a little bit brighter.
Right.
You know, so we'll see. We'll see how this looks out there. Tell us in the comments.
Hopefully not too bright, dude.
Right.
Doesn't match my soul. So lots happening in the news.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to today's topic. It's funny how things just take off, right?
Yeah,
For no good reason. Like what hits, what goes viral, right? What makes the news.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we were talking about that one episode where can you plan the
virality.
Yeah, the virality or the viral effect on your campaign or whatever.
I don't think so. I mean, it seems like, right? Maybe there's smarter people than us, but it sure seems like it's just organic. Because I think that there's probably thought of like, okay, what can we do? You know, you're always trying to think, how can we get this post or this ad or whatever to get as much engagement or interaction or viewership as possible. Yeah. And something that I'm sure they're saying like, how do we create an ad where people are talking, about it the day after at, like during the Super Bowl or something, the Super Bowl ad the day after at the water cooler, like I'm sure there's always that conversations that happens, but the conversation of, okay, this is what we're going to do and it's going to go viral. That part of it is like, what's an analogy is music, right? Let's say old school, you write yourself an album, right? And A&R back in the day would have been like, the producer helps the band make the record, but the A&R comes in like, I don't hear a hit, guys, right? And so like, hey, go back to the drawing board, or do you have anything else in the drawer, or what? And it's interesting that the A&R can sniff out a hit, right? But like, I don't necessarily think, because who knows in hindsight, right? Because if you're an A&R guy who like heard the Aerosmith's Sweet Emotion, it's like, yeah, I knew it was going to be a hit. It's like, dude, did you really though? Right. I mean, it's a great song, but like you didn't know it was going to be that fucking big, right? So what I'm trying to say is like, educated ears in that scenario hear good solid craftsmanship of music, right? This is a solid piece of furniture. I
would say that's probably like a lot of industries though, right? Like you have the sommeliers who just know, ooh, this is good wine, right? You have the cheese connoisseurs who are like, ooh, this made perfect. They separate the fact
from fiction,
right? You got
the good from the bad.
The Michelin star reviewers or the food critics who just know, right? They have this taste. And so I would imagine in every industry you have those people. And even in our industry, I look at stuff that comes across my desk and say, no, that's not going to work.
Right.
And I'll tell you why it's not going to work. Right. And in the meantime, that could frustrate the artists. Right. Saying, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, no, I do. And I know I have a bigger picture that that I see that you don't see. Right. Right. Fact.
All true. Right. So the relative to the viral part though, right, is like, most ears, most listeners when pressed could like with high probability be like, out of a record, these 3 songs for any number of reasons, the listeners, like, I don't know, I just like them. Yeah. The A&R guy can be like, with educated ears, like, no, the song structure is good. You get to the chorus faster than, why does that mean anything? Because, it's played on radio. You got to get to the chorus within 30 seconds or whatever it is, right? So there's all these technical aspects. But then I don't necessarily see those technical kind of things along with being viral. Yeah. Right? Like sometimes for no good reason, it happens to bands too, where it's like, oh, that was the song we put on the B-side. We didn't even
know, right?
And then like a DJ flipped the record over back in 78 and like, who knew that was on there? Right. It was a great, and that was their biggest hit ever. Yeah. Right. So
it kind of reminds me of that Ray movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where remember when like Jamie Foxx, he's playing Ray Charles, and he's in the studio. Yeah. And there's that one guy, I don't remember the character name or the
bald guy.
Yeah,
Ahmed.
Bald guy. Ahmed. Yeah. Where he's like listening, he's like, it's not going to hit it, So he goes into the studio, like everybody else. Yeah. And he's like, okay, how about try this? And he starts singing it. Yeah. He's like, you could something
barbecue. Yeah. That's right. And that was his first hit. But as a producer, that's interesting you say that, because that is a moment, right, where the educated record guy, right, he knows how to cut a record. He knows what a hit is, and he's like, what's the flavor of the month, right? What is hip right now? Where is it going? It's going to radio, and therefore it's got to be so long, right? And just all this kind of sensibility about what generally makes a hit, right? And then it just so happened to be a song he wrote, so good on him, because he gets the points.
I always find that I love those type of scenes. You saw that in Bohemian Rhapsody too, where they're trying to make a case for that long, is ridiculous. What's that song?
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy?
Oh, it's so good.
Right, but it was like, this is gonna go over the time of the record. Like, how's this not gonna work? And they had to fight that whole, no, it's gonna work. And next thing you know, it like hit number 1 twice.
Bro, crushed it.
Different
Bohemian
generations.
Rhapsody is like, it's like it's beyond music, right? It's like a whole movement unto itself, right? It ushers in bigger things, right?
But then you have something like that, and then you have something like ridiculous, like Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song.
Brilliant.
And that's hit like, that's
because fair enough, how many Hanukkah songs are there?
Right.
That was his point.
And
then again, how many Turkey Day songs? Like,
and like nothing could ever follow the Hanukkah song. Like, you can't make a Torah or whatever song. Like it doesn't like work.
It doesn't hit the same. You maybe, because I'm thinking about the song itself, and I'm thinking of like, he says Goldie Hawn's half Jewish, Kurt Russell is too, something like that. But as time goes on, people are not going to, I know who Kurt Russell is. Right. He's great. But like, you might want to update the celebrities. But in
like,
general,
didn't that song like go platinum? Like, it's something ridiculous.
Yeah. Way bigger than it should have.
Right. But
way
like,
bigger.
Who would ever thought that like that when Adam Sandler was writing that this is going to take off and people are going to laugh at this and love it. Like you just, to schedule the viral effect, right? You have no clue. Yeah. To a certain degree, you could position it so that, hey, this is our best foot forward. Right. And then also boom. But sometimes it just sneaks up on you. Yeah. And you don't even realize. Fact, like you said, it's that track on the B side. Right. Like, what? People like that one?
I would assume that it's all right. There's a lot of thoughts I'm having. One, on the end of it, of creation, when you're let's say you're trying to make something and you're trying to make it well, right? Let's just put that on that music analogy side of things, where it's like, well, you're already in fertile ground. You know, you're already in a space where you're trying your best to make things that are going to take, because that's the nature of what you're making, right?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of the consumer side of it, and those informed creatives that are making things that should take off. But also there's kind of a ceiling too. You know, the expectation is like, oh, we should, you know, have a hit off this. And I think this will recoup our money. I mean, make it about the numbers.
Yep.
But on the complete opposite end is like the unintentional viral nature. But unintentional viral moments are also based on the sheer volume of moments, right? So like how many videos today are captured, right? I mean, Jesus, I can't even fathom.
Fathom.
How many hours of video are uploaded and this, that, the other. So like, it's almost kind of like, well, yeah, of course there's viral moments, because like there are so many things going, like, of course you're going to have a funny moment or two, right? Versus like, you know, back in time, like viral videos just weren't quite the thing. I mean, America's Funniest Home Videos would have been the resource. That
was a great show.
It was hilarious.
That's hilarious.
But interesting. Speaking of, there's a combo.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Right.
Dude, when he does his stand-up, one of his first stand-up specials, post Full House. Oh,
it was so good.
Perfect. Did you see that? Does that ring a bell?
No.
Dude, he's talking about putting like toothpaste up your ass, but like don't do it because it'll burn. And he's like a real free-flowing thought kind of guy, but it was way more blue than like regular people. They were like, you know,
it's weird
because Full House.
After Full House and then the America's Funniest Home Video, really that's all I knew him for. I knew he was a comedian, but it wasn't until like nearing his end of life where I started hearing people talking about Bob Saget. I'm like, he's funny?
Bro.
Like he's that funny?
Yeah.
Like you guys are talking about it? So no, I really didn't know much about him. The funny, one funny story I heard was that one. Have you ever seen that one? He's that dwarf comedian, and I can't remember. I'm the worst at names, but he talks about how
the skater guy.
No, he's not a skater guy.
Okay, yeah, I forget.
But he talks about how Bob Saget, like he came to one of his shows or whatever, and then and asked him, "Hey, can you go and see what's the other actor's name? Not the cut it out guy, whatever his name is.
But the other actor from Full House,
Full House,
Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he goes, hey,
Stamos.
Yeah, Stamos. Hey, Stamos wants to meet you, whatever.
Right.
And so he brings this comedian into Stamos's dressing room.
Okay.
Only to find out that Stamos has that phobia. But this short comedian like knew exactly what Bob Saget was trying to do. So he's like, okay, I got it. So I'm in on it. So he jumps on Stamos's leg and starts humping it like some rabid dog.
That is fantastic.
And Stamos and Saget's like rolling on the ground laughing. It's just meantime, Stamos has legit fear.
Right.
Like, it's like,
that's all my fear.
I gotta find out. If I find out, I gotta send it to you.
That's funny, man.
But that's so like only like little things like that, segments like that where I heard about Bob Saget. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't checked it out though.
Yeah, he's funny, man. Yeah, his comedy, his flow is like stream of consciousness. But it's like just when you think it's like one of those movies where I think Matt Damon played in a movie like that where he's like an inside guy supposed to be giving you dirt on a company. And it turns out he's just made up the whole goddamn thing. Like he's totally full of shit, but it's like, it gets worse. Like, oh, this can't get any worse. And then it gets even worse. So that's what Saget's routine was. Okay. It's just like, damn, that was offensive. And then he hits you again. You're like, oh God, why? Right. So anyways, that's Bob Saget. So viral. So yes, back to the viral. Can you call your shot? I say no. Right. I think in this day and age, here's another aspect of like the modern era, right? So we got the viral thing on one point. On another point, we've got dunking on people, which is just ever so popular. Like if somebody did wrong, right? who did we just cover at the Coldplay?
The CEO.
The CEO. Yeah. So like, the world dunks on that guy in a moment and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, mm-hmm. I don't really want to give the guy a kick in the ribs, but also I'm like, well, you kind of deserve it a little bit. I don't know. Right. Yeah. It is what it is. But not every one of those moments, like not everything that happens, you got to dunk on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's like just the things that can go viral. It's like you can go viral in the dunking on, just shitting on there. Why'd you do that? And all the haters come out of the woodwork. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just and it's without social media, that would only live at the, in the
grassroots level type thing. Yeah.
Right. It's like, we're just shitting on somebody's bad decision or like their sports thing, you could hear that, like, the coach this year and, defense, I don't know what they're doing, but then it dies. Yeah. And you just go on about your life. Yeah. But with social media and YouTube and everything else, man, it just lives on forever. Yeah. Right. And not only
lives
that,
on forever. Could you imagine like if the whole Clinton era when he had an affair with Monica Lewinsky, like if social media was as huge as it is now,
bro. First of all, how cigar sales would go up. Step one, cigar sales go up. If I was like 23andMe or one of them gene type joints, all day, I would put a blue dress on my logo if I was a company like that, right? Like it's just endless, right? It would write itself. But but you're right. That lived and died. Where else? Maybe in SNL, kind of moments. But again, it died, right? Until now, right? Now I guess we can look back, But anyway, so the dunking on aspect, purely a modern thing, by way of like social media being modern, and they just won't let it go, and they make it worse. And then there's room for a conspiracy theory to grow on top of like, what is a bad decision? Like perhaps a bad logo, like maybe it's just a bad design, right, or maybe it's just not what you're used to. Right. But like, does it have to be all this? Does it indicate, like we looked at some wild stuff regarding a design where they were talking about like the gravitational pull of the earth.
Yeah, that was
right?
Pepsi.
What was that?
Stuff.
Was that Pepsi, right?
Yeah, Pepsi's logo.
I mean, who would think of such things? I wouldn't, but they spent, there's like $2 million, I think, on $2 million
with the branding agency. Yeah.
So for that much money, if I'm Pepsi, I'm like, you better show me the goddamn gravitational pull of the earth, right? I want to see every little, because that's the rationale, right? To speak technically, right? When you get yourself a logo, rebrand kind of thing, it's like, all right, why did we do this?
Right. Well, yeah. Well,
right? Tell me the backstory.
So what you tell the audience, fill them in. So what Chris is talking about is when Pepsi had their redesign of their new logo, where it looks like a smile, it wasn't like they went and spent $2 million to an agency and the agency said, hey, I'm going to make this Pepsi look like it has a smile. Right. Instead, they had like a 70-page document with all this research of gravitational pull and how it interacts with future and past and the universe and its place in the universe. And as a result of the gravitational pull in the future, it's going to pull that line, that white stripe in the logo in such a way that it ends up looking like a smile. Right. But they had all this rationale behind this logo and they, Pepsi paid $2 million. They wanted all this rationale behind it. Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, I said to the team when I saw that, I was like, bro, we got to have that level of rationale no matter what. But it can't be real. It's got to be totally disconnected and not make any sense at all. At least that's what, but look, I've got, you'd see if you guys, play along at the, at home there, but it's that one.
Yeah.
Right. This 2008 is the logo that I think we're all more than aware of. But I remember the 1971 version.
Yep.
Right. That makes me think, here's where the importance of the logo and why people get so pissed off. Right. I didn't really appreciate this was the nostalgia. Right. Because I see the 1971 logo.
Yep.
Right. Look it up, guys. The 71 logo makes me think of my childhood. Right. I can picture it on the sides of soda machines or whatever.
Yep.
And like the restaurants and pizza joints that I was at as a little kid. I think of my dad, like I used to go with my dad to deliver donuts like early as hell in the morning. And so it makes me think of all of that.
Yep.
right? And then they changed the logo. It says like 87. So yeah, I was a wee little kid, and I can picture that, on cans. And some of that like brings to mind like Michael Jackson, right? They had the big push and the voice of the generation and all this kind of stuff, right? So the logo is important. It's tied to the nostalgia, right? The older generations are going to be like, don't change it, right? Because you're screwing with their memories, right? Their childhood and their identity and all that type of crap. And then the brand trust is tied up in that, right? So
how does this have to do with dunking on Varela?
Where the dunk comes in is like, I look at it objectively. I'm like, guys, get the fuck over it. Who cares? You know what I mean? Go to Cracker Barrel, which is where we leave. Go to the joint, get the food, get the hell over it.
So
right?
You bring up Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. Right. So I'm thinking, just get what's the problem?
Yeah.
Right?
So the Cracker Barrel company, right? They changed their logo.
You'd have thought they're throwing puppies off buildings, right? You'd have thought you'd have thought that how the reaction is so hard. You'd have thought that we found out like they're using like, cat blood to make the French fries or something. Like, it's not a big deal, man. It's just a logo. What the hell? Right. But when it's been around forever, right? I think. Hold on, I got it in here somewhere, right? Yeah, just change. It's been that way the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. However long, I don't have the date here.
Did the Cracker Barrel write a response on why the change?
I saw like a quasi apology.
Apology? What did they apologize for?
That we're trying to go and modernize and all this kind of thing. But no, I did not see any explanation. Right. I saw sort of their breakdown where they're like showing some of the the images that go along with it, whatever that would be called. But no, I don't remember seeing yet anyway. Right. But the theories, the like taking it personally, like how it's affected people online and what kind of hate they get. Like, first of all, the R, here's the conspiracy, if that is the R had a bit of a whip to it.
Yeah.
For real?
You're talking about the new R?
The old one. The old one. Was supposed
the old R?
Yeah,
K?
it looks like the K to me.
K has the whip to it.
Yeah. So maybe that's just bad info on it. But a whip though?
Yeah.
Really?
I remember just the other couple when they first came out, the first time I heard the news was Josh from England. He's a British influencer guy who loves America, visits America and all that. He advocates for the US. Well, he's like, okay, America, you guys got you went wrong here. You failed basically. And so Cracker Barrel, what happened? Yeah. Like he's like, I love that restaurant.
Right.
And he said that you got rid of the cracker and you got rid of the barrel. That was the first time I heard it. I like, that's brilliant. Fucking hilarious, dude.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
And the cracker is actually the guy. The guy is actually related to the founder in some way, or
he's
brother or something.
He's like the guy. I don't know. He's a happy little feller. Leave him alone.
Yeah, he's like one of the family members of who Cracker Barrel was founded by. Yeah, I think it's silly. I'm not saying I'm a fan of their new logo. I have issues of spacing and margins on their new logo.
Right.
But as far as like the having any issues with the old logo changing a new logo, I don't see it. I think people like to just cause problems.
Well, that's the nature. So just like they can have the viral moment to blow up something that's whatever entertaining or something, but this is the viral moment in the negative, right? Where they're digging in, they're doing Pepsi rebrand level research into nothing.
Yeah,
right. You're looking at chicken bones, right? It's not that.
But that could be because. That could be because I don't have that nostalgia with Cracker Barrel. I like Cracker Barrel.
Neither do I. I didn't even know Cracker Barrel.
I got a few things from the little general store or whatever they call it. And I love their fried okra, by the way. That's why I go there, is for the fried okra.
Really?
But like, it's not, I don't have this like affinity to Cracker Barrel and all these memories of Cracker Barrel. And so perhaps that's,
I never even heard of it.
Perhaps
up.
Maybe that's what's missing from, from the whole, this whole conversation, is that I don't have like this, now if they change like, the Ozzy logo or something, something
God
more,
forbid.
I'll be like, wait, what? Why are you doing that? Or like Metallica logo, like, what's the purpose of that? Like,
what are you doing?
I have all the shirts that have Metallica on it. Now you're gonna change it on me?
Yeah. Right.
That'd be kind of an odd one for me.
This is an odd reference.
Or like Nike. Let's say Nike moved away. It's no longer a swoosh or something. It's different. It's like an arrow. Like what?
It's a hard sell.
That's odd to me.
That's a hard sell. If there's Cannibal Corpse, one of my favorite bands, they redid their logo ever so slightly, really. But that was for legal reasons, right? The old singer did one, and then they used it. He left, and right, we did it. But aside from that,
that they had to do it.
They had no choice, right? I wouldn't pay the guy. I get it. But aside from that, like, bands, how are you gonna? Don't mess with that, right? That's like part of the thing. Yeah, that's it's a symbol,
and people have all the apparel that has it on. On that.
Yeah. You might change the colors or something.
Drastic change, that'd be just odd, right?
Yeah.
But I don't quite get it. I don't. But as a branding person, professional, right. I always say to my staff, and I even when I'm prepping clients before we present, I always tell them, first of all, whoever is going to engage or have final say in this stuff, they better be in these meetings in somehow. In some way, or somebody who has authority to say, nope, this is the direction we're going. They need to be at those meetings. Because if not, then what ends up happening, like a recent client where we would make these changes to their whole brand storyboard, and everybody likes it in the room. The direct client or direct contact, they love it. But then it goes to the board or it goes to the executive team, and they're like, no,
shut it down.
Shoot it down. Like, we spent hours, days on this brand. And if you only understood our rationale behind everything, you would get behind it too. I guarantee it. But because they weren't there, right? You don't understand why this is the direction it needs to go. Right. That stuff infuriates me. So I'm always like, one, the decision makers or somebody who represents them has to be there. Two, we have to present sound rationale. I don't know about gravitational forces and all that.
Just wait. Don't let me in the meeting, dude.
But even that though, I don't know what went on in Pepsi. I don't know why that happened. I don't know if the story about, Pepsi dominating the globe made them start thinking about like Earth, and made, one of the Pepsi graphics of the logo, maybe it was a circle, which made them think that this is this whole, planet, this brand that has movement. And then all of a sudden, if this has movement and we're thinking future, I mean, I could kind of see how the researchers on that account started thinking, okay, let's use that as the rationale. But I don't know what was talked about at those meeting rooms, right? And so rationale is so important.
Because, how did you get there?
And I always tell our designers, so long as you give me the rationale, don't just show me something. I need to see the rationale, because there's a number of times where I said, nope, don't like it. And then they share the rationale and I'm like, actually, that makes perfect sense. Okay, talk more. And then maybe I'll make some tweaks. But if you just show me something, boom, here, no. And that's why I also hate it when people go online and they say, I'm going to pay $50 and have this software, freelancers duke it out and design me 100 different logo concepts. And I'll be like, oh, I like that one and that one. Like, no rationale. It's just based off of, that whole beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And if you have no concept of beauty yourself,
that's interesting.
Then you look at a logo, you're like, oh, that looks great. Right?
That's 100. When I think of, again, on the music, right? That's like, I can picture that happening, right? So how many times have I personally written a song or two or been, part of that? And then I get like, you have the peanut gallery kind of chime in, and it's like, you like that? You know, that's stupid. Right? I was tuning my guitar. What the fuck? What are you doing? You know?
Just the other last weekend, I had a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. He's like trying to start his own little company.
Yeah.
One man company, and he worked on a logo. And he texted me. He's like, "Hey, Ernie, do you think this is a good logo for me to use?" And I'm like, "That is such a okay. We need to talk.
Right.
Like, I'm not answering this over text.
Right.
Right. And if I did, I'd crush you. Right. Like I'd crush all your dreams.
Destroy your dreams.
Right. Yep. And so I waited and I talked and I go, okay, you got to give me more context here. Right. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to make this something big, or is this just a one-man shop? Right. Are you just looking for visibility? Are you looking for low cost? Are you just looking for, well, you got to tell me, like, there's a lot involved in this whole thing, because if you want me to directly answer about that logo, it's bad.
Right.
It's terrible.
Right.
But why? I'll tell you some of my rationale why that's bad, but I need to know more about what you're trying to accomplish with this brand. What are you trying to build? How do you see this? Is this going to be something really big? It's like, well, I figure if I just put something out there now, then I can always change it once things are like, that's not as easy.
Right.
Because
haters are going to hate.
The moment you get out the, starting blocks, people are going to already recognize whatever you put out. And if you're putting out as bad brand, that might prevent people from wanting to work with you. Right. You don't look professional. You don't look like trustworthy. How big are you really, Yeah. And are you going to show up if I pay you this down payment? Like there's so much involved in logo and branding.
If it hits, right. And say the business takes off and let's say the logo's not remarkable. In other words, it doesn't get in the way of the business. It's good enough, right? But then you get something going, right? The one thing I think about, hold on, let me bring it up, is Tropicana, right? Okay, so Tropicana they had like everybody knew what it was. I remember that. I remember going in to get orange juice at some point. I don't remember even when it was, what year it was, but I remember going to shop. And there it was, this established brand. I want orange juice. Why the hell there's like 70 varieties of orange juice, by the way? Who the fuck knows? But anyways, I'm going to go get some. Yep. And I remember like, wait, is this Tropicana? Wait, which one is this? It just threw me off. I didn't know.
Because they changed the logo?
Because they changed the logo.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
what is it now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that one with the orange and the straw.
Orange and the straw, right.
There you go. Yep. Right. Perfect. Cool. But so, I distinctly remember going in, I don't know where I was, but I know stood there for a hot second. And I bought something else, right? I wasn't the only one. It was a 20% drop in the first 2 months for Tropicana specifically, because people, they
didn't recognize the brand.
Yeah. They didn't recognize it was, generic. It was seen as generic, right? So they thought it was, say, Kroger or ShopRite or
great value orange juice.
They just didn't know. Right. So, but very fast. But that's a massive
dip,
bro. 20% in 2 months. You would think like, Jesus, I hope this doesn't continue. Like that's our ass, right? So it means something, especially if you do have something that does take off, and it's like you started out with kind of a little fugazi, logo, right?
Yeah. So I kept it really simple for him. I'm like, look, your logo has your phone number on there. I can't see your phone number because you try to make a cool looking chrome look to it. Let's stay away from all that fancy stuff. If you're just thinking about using this logo on the back of your truck and you want people to call your phone number, make that phone number as noticeable as possible.
White on black.
And then other than that, strip away all this stuff. You don't need that. Keep it simple for now. If you're going to go think about evolving it as you grow, then keep it simple. Don't try to do all this other flashy stuff, which is just hitting the mark. And that's it. I'm like, people pay me a lot of money to tell them more than this. I don't think you need to go there. Just keep this as simple as possible. Yeah. Something you could embroider on your t-shirt, put on a hat, and put on the back of your truck. That's it. And but because there's a lot. I mean, we could deep dive forever and get you the best logo. But what do you need now?
Right.
And so, but the rationale is so important. That's why I was like laughing, because I look at Cracker Barrel and I'm watching. I'm loving all the reels. It's hilarious. A lot of stuff that people are putting out there. That in itself is just creative. I love seeing like these people, the creative responses. Creative dunks. Yeah. But I go back, I'm like laughing. I'm like, hey, I deal with that all the time. People who just don't understand. They weren't in the board meetings. They don't know, how this thing is going to grow.
Right.
They're not in the conversation, but they go based off of their nostalgia. Well, if we go based off of nostalgia, well, guess what? We don't advance either.
No, you're going to stay with
people who never thought about putting music in an MP3 player because I like my Walkman. Right. Cassette tapes. People wouldn't know that you could, internet and all that. Why do we need internet? We don't need that.
It's not going to stick around.
You need to continue to modernize, including brand.
Right.
Brands need to modernize too, but people don't like that.
No. No. Yeah. I mean, so there's a case to be made too, right? There's the flip side is Coke, right? Has stuck to the program for a long ass time.
Now, however, there's a difference with Coke.
Yeah.
Coke is number one.
Right.
They're number one. They are the standard.
Everybody's chasing them.
Keep it. Pepsi knows they'll always be number two.
Right.
And so they're trying to what other little changes can we make, whether it be in introducing a new product, changing a name of a product, changing their logo to just claw their way up a little bit higher in that market, right? Otherwise, Coca-Cola sets a standard. So why would they change it?
Yeah. Right. When you think of it that way, right? You think of like back to music again, Metallica example. Mm-hmm. Bro, Metallica's Metallica. There's enough.
There's no need to change that.
They're already, I wouldn't say number one per se, but it's that they're the only ones doing it. Mm-hmm. Right? There's not going to be another Metallica, right? No need to change the logo. Man, it works. If it ain't broke.
Yeah.
Right.
So again, just rationale, but why do we need to change? If they're already number one, why do we need to change?
Along part of the rationale or part of that, part of the process is the testing, right? Gap is a good example where I don't know the real intricate details of what all they did for prep, but evidently testing was like low as a priority. Yeah. And so there was, hold on, let me reference. All right, so 1990, we get the Gap logo we all know and love. Blue square, white letters. October 6th, 2010, they're like, we're going to switch it up. It's big black letters, little minimalist kind of square, blue square. It lasts, can you see it? How many days?
No.
How many days do you think?
Days?
How many days do you think it lasted?
I would say probably 60 days.
6 days.
Holy shit.
6 days.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, that is bullshit. They were like, our fault.
Well, another
and that was 2010.
Misstep, another misstep that's a little bit more local to where we're at here in Ohio is Nationwide.
Okay.
So Nationwide they used to have the N with the eagle with the claw.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, okay, yeah.
And then they switched to that window where it was just a square.
Yeah.
A rectangle, a blue rectangle.
Right.
And it said Nationwide at the bottom.
Right.
Well, they ended up switching back to a bird logo, but they took the claws out to make it not look so predatory and all that. Right. But so, companies do see like, oh, shoot, we probably
you should have tested,
miscalculated this one
prior.
Yep.
Yeah.
The people didn't know what's the window. We don't get the window.
Right.
Looking into like people's lives. What does that mean? Right.
That's weird. Does the rationale ever come out? I wonder. Because if you you're right. If you're selling it,
typically they don't.
Yeah, right.
That's just like in the weeds. Who
would know?
Right.
Who would care to know?
Not only that, but you also have to weigh out like, is the Cracker Barrel thing? Who really talked about Cracker Barrel before? Now people are talking about Cracker Barrel.
Everybody.
Everybody's talking about it.
Dude, until I moved here.
Is that necessarily a bad thing?
Yeah. There's that.
Now, maybe all the crackers are not going to, all the white folks aren't going to go because they think they abandoned them. I don't think that's the case. My parents, they're not white. They stop at Cracker Barrels as they're traveling down.
Right.
Because they want to check out the stores.
Yeah, it's an American.
They want to check out. It's just an American thing, right? So I don't know. I'd be curious to see how much this hurts them. I'm sure it's going to a little bit, maybe stocks or whatever, but they'll just bounce back. And so the reason why I'm saying that is, how much does the executive team or the board or these people need to try to defend themselves? Hey guys, here's our rationale. No, don't leave it. Like, at that point, you're just grasping. Like, you got to be confident in your decision. You got to move forward.
That's what we're doing now.
Well, I remember we worked with a patient provider, and man, we were looking to change their brand after they had this brand name and logo they've had for 40 years. I think it was 40 years they've had it. Right. And then here comes Di Milano, and we're saying, that they approached us to change the logo. And I'm like, how tied are you to the name? And they're like, well, what are you thinking? I'm like, well, we're doing our research, and it seems like your name, there's a lot of issues with your name, and it's being outdated, it's not impacting the target audience, and your logo and colors and everything else that goes along with it, right? Your brand narrative is everything. Right. So like, you're suggesting we change everything. I'm like, yeah. Right. Now, I'm not suggesting, I'm recommending, I'm not just suggesting, I'm recommending based off of the research that we did. Right. Yeah. And so I remember talking to my team, like, okay, I just went to bat. We got to hit this out of the park because if we fall on our face, I mean, that's bad. Right. Reputational damage completely. And so we worked and we put storyboards, we put like all sorts of things. Okay, what does work? And why should we name it this? And I mean, it was a arduous process, but finally we came up with the new name, new logo, new narratives, new website, just all the collaterals all changed. And guess what? All the people who've been donating to this or funders of this organization for years, decades, a lot of them were not happy. Right. And I told them, I go, listen, when we launch this, I am so confident in this brand that this is going to propel you for the next 40 years. Right. But this is not without hearing some grumbling. You're going to hear it. So prepare for it, Right. And people are like, I don't like it. We've always been like this. Why are you changing this? And these are people donating to this organization.
Significant cash.
Significant money. Yeah. Right. And it was literally, I just got a call from the client maybe 3 months ago, where they said, hey, there's one last a supporter who been writing checks to our old name, refusing to change, that finally wrote it with the accurate name and a letter saying, I finally get it. Damn. And that was 2 years after we launched a new brand, and he finally got the vision. It took him that long. And he went on this whole thing about how he was really upset, did not like it, didn't understand why you would change this, et cetera, et cetera. But I love the mission. I'm going to keep supporting it. But now that I see all the things you've grown and whatever, now everything, not just the new brand, but the narratives and the services and how things are growing and things are increasing. The guys I get it now. Yeah. And I didn't apologize, I'm sure, but just said, so he changed the organization that he wrote the check off to the actual name. But it takes people so long to adjust.
I will assume as well, right? Because one significant thing about those logo discussion is the age impact, right? So it really is that the older generation, naturally, they're going to have more time engagement with the thing. There's just more connectivity. More that they gave up. When the change happened. Yeah. Right.
So, I'll tell you right now, if the Browns all of a sudden put a fucking logo on their helmet, I'll be so mad. They do not have a logo. It's just an orange helmet, brown and white stripe down the center, and that's it. And white face mask. Why are you putting it every year they always say, we need to put a dog, or because they're known as the dog pound, the dogs. We should put a dog there.
Wait, no. Do they have a mascot?
Yeah, they have a mascot.
What is it?
It's a dog. Or they also have
you're their fucking mascot.
Yeah, they have an elf, for a brownie elf. That was more back in the day. The brownie elves.
Brownie elves.
Yeah,
the Keebler elves. They make brownies.
Well, brownies is another term for a type of elf. Brownies.
What?
But anyway, so they do have these mascots, and we're fine with that. We're like, okay, fine.
Elves?
But don't fucking mess with the helmet. we're the only team who doesn't have a logo. We want to keep it that way, right?
What if they put little elf ears on the helmet?
I'd be pissed. I would find that designer, whoever suggests that, and I would hurt them. Or like, but you see like the Commanders, the Washington Redskins, they changed because of pressure from.
Oh, there we go with the racial. Yeah.
They changed to Washington Commanders,
right?
The
fuck. You know what's funny? I just saw a meme.
The Indians, Cleveland Indians,
dude.
I was like, "What are you doing?"
The funniest
now the
thing,
Cleveland Guardians, like,
the misnomer on that. There's a lot there. The misnomer on Indian, right? As I understand it, is that the legend was that Christopher Columbus sails the ocean blue, gets here, thinks he's in India, calls everybody Indians. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, you racist asshole, because they're reddish doesn't make them Indians, right? Right? So this is our modern eyes. Yeah. But in fact, that's not the case, right? It's Indio is the root word, right? People of the sun or whatever, which is actually kind of cool. Like, oh, that's a nice name for something, for a group of people, right? Never mind that there's like a racially diverse, you're talking about tens of millions of people here, but never mind that, right? Yeah. So the term Indian isn't necessarily as offensive as what we all thought. Separately from that little history lesson is I just saw a meme of a dude looks Indian, right? Looks legit, right? he's got a t-shirt that says rednecks. It's like a guy. He's got like the Macho Man glasses with like a mullet, and I'm like, perfect.
That's perfect.
That is perfect, and it's got the colors for the Redskins jersey. Oh, just that's perfect, man. Yeah. So he gets
but the sad thing about the changing from Washington Redskins to the Commanders is that that there's a whole the family of that tribe they donated the profile of I forget his name. They donated that to the Washington Redskins organization to put it on their logo.
So they were in
that conversation. But pressures from outside, others told, in the whole woke culture, cancel culture, pushed them over the limit. But now, last I heard, I don't know, it's on the internet, must be true type thing, but like the Washington Redskins organization or Commanders organization is they're being sued by that clan or whatever because we gave that as a gift for you to use.
Right.
You didn't ask us. Whether we wanted it taken off, right? And so there's reparations on that. So it's like there's this organization trying to do the right thing, whatever's right.
Whatever the hell the right thing. The right thing is evidently when we got feelings, all of a sudden they get hurt. It's like lighten up, man. But that's just
and so you look at like Cracker Barrel, and then you think, okay, so you remove the white dude and you move the barrel. Like, why'd you do that? Was that racist? Like, a woke culture. Why here's another company. I see that all the time on social media. Here's another company who fell to the woke culture. It's like, did they fall to the woke culture or did they just decide they just need to they want to reach out to more people and it just looks like we're reaching out to old white dudes.
Yeah, it's strictly like for the middle of the country.
What if we want to reach out to more people?
Right.
And that limits the perception of who we cater to. Right. I don't think that's a wrong thing. It's not like they're tripping over the woke cancel culture. They're just trying to modernize and service more people.
Right.
It's at the end of the day, they want to grow. They want to gain more customers. They want to, and let's take that off. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't see a problem with that. Right. But did they say that in their response letter? Did they even give a response letter? I'd be sad if they did an apology, unless the apology was like, I'm sorry that you guys, this hurt a lot of your feelings.
Yeah. Sorry your butt hurt. Trying to make
but
money.
We're trying. Okay, that's not really apology.
Right.
That's just empathizing. With
I love it.
Hurt.
I love it when there is sometimes in the logo, but like maybe elsewhere in the marketing collateral, elsewhere in the brand. If there's like a change, but then the company is just like eat shit with your comments. You know what I mean? I love it. It's usually like the smaller. Right.
Yeah.
But whenever it happens, I'm like, yes, that's how you deal with it. Yeah. I don't give a shit. You don't pay my bills. And if you did before, get out. I don't care. I love that. I love those moments. It's so satisfying.
So I'm all for it. I don't know. I have issues with the logo just as a branding professional, but I was not in that boardroom. So I'm not going to share what my issues are really. because I don't know. There's obviously reasons that the designers and the branding consultants decided to do it that way.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to comment because I wasn't there and I don't have a dog in the fight, right? But man, do people get so crazy about this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's I think that the hate online goes viral, right? Everybody's dunking. Sometimes it's funny. I'll give you that. There's a lot of memes where I've gotten a chuckle or two, on Cracker Barrels.
I'll tell you another funny story though, recent actually, where we were working with the client. Remember, we were working with the client, and we designed a new logo. And it looked great, new brand, everything. Everything's all branded out, and it's approved. Yeah, even from the CEO, it's approved. Right. All right, cool, victory, right?
Yeah, I think I
but then I get called from the CEO. And he's like, Ernie, I just talked to the chief financial officer.
That's right.
And he doesn't like it. And of course, my brain's like, okay, first of all, he was not in any of the meetings because, like I said, that's like number one. Right. Secondly, you're asking a finance officer about the logo? That's right. Like, you wouldn't ask me about finances. Trust me.
Right.
Like I that's not my skill set.
Right.
But you're going to ask him about the logo, but calmly. So this is going on in my head.
Yeah.
But calmly,
I remember hearing the conversation.
So what is his recommendations on the logo? And he goes, well, when he looks at it, he doesn't know what we do.
Right.
I'm like, you are a multi-million-dollar company. Like, this is not like where you need this logo to tell everybody like exactly what to do.
Right.
You're not reaching to the masses. This is in an industrial space.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, what does he want in that? He's like, well, he's thinking like maybe like, it was picked out some sort
like
of
a screw.
And I'm like,
or a hammer or some shit.
Like, what?
Bro.
I'm like, okay. And so I was listening. I was just being calm and patient. Meantime, my blood's like curdling, and I go, okay. So I can answer this two ways. One, I basically said, at the end of the day, you guys are clients. And so we will always work with you. But from my experience, he's absolutely wrong for these reasons, and this is the way to go.
Rationale.
Right. Yeah. This is the rationale behind it. Right. I mean, I went so far to say everybody, you're going to find everybody's not going to like it for one reason or another.
Right.
Right. But it was us that were at the table that made these decisions, and this is why. And once we push and launch the brand, everybody will start to, rank and file.
Yeah, they'll get on board. Yeah.
But we have to be bold, to kind of put the stake in the ground and say, this is the direction we're going to go. Right. And so he goes, so do you recommend that we give some options? I go, no, we will not give you options unless you tell me I have to. Right. And he's like, well, you're the expert and I'm going with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
That was the sell.
That was so relationship forming between me and the CEO, because he's like, yes, you're right. You're the experts. We don't know. And he's a finance officer.
Right.
What's he know about this stuff?
Yeah. That was the re-drinking. Here's like another sip of Kool-Aid.
Right. And then one of the initiatives was, one of the objectives for changing to the new brand was because we want to look like number one in our space.
Big.
Right. Big. Because we're a multi-million-dollar company. Yeah. We want to be looking like we are number one. Right. And then, I remind him of that. So then, but then you're going to use very novice rationale and to make yourself look like a handyman. Right. Like, see the problem there? You're going to look like a handyman.
Right. You're looking this big.
That has one truck and you're the only employee.
Hey guys.
But you want to look like you're this multi-billion-dollar company. I'm like,
right.
It's not going to work. No. So fortunately he's like, yeah, okay, you're right. I go, now we're going to get a lot of people who's not going to like it. They're not going to like the colors. They're not going to like the fonts. There's going to be so many things they don't like. But between those who are decision makers and we understand the vision and the story that we're trying to tell, we all get it, then we need to be all on board, marching in the same direction, And that was an example of like, I got to stick to my guns, because the moment if I let up and said, okay, yeah, whatever you want, you're the one paying the bills, that could have been like disastrous. And that's added more months of just floundering.
And maybe that.
Right. And then who's really controlling any of the decisions?
Yeah, who's driving the train?
Not only the finance officer, but the HR director, the
one of the guys on the
man,
floor and shit. Yeah.
Like you can't have everybody a part of this.
Right.
So that's why I laugh when I look at the Cracker Barrel things, because it's like, guys, you're all talking like you guys know.
You weren't there.
You weren't there. You don't know what their business objectives are.
Right.
You don't know who they're maybe trying to expand in their marketplace.
Right.
Maybe they're not. They're trying to get more diversity. Is that a problem?
Right.
Is that a problem?
Right.
You don't know.
Yeah, maybe the backlash really is just mad racist after all.
Right. Well, but I kind of get it why, like, especially like the white folks, like they're, like they're just seeing things kind of slip out. Like, there's another company now.
They took
the white guy.
They took our jobs, just like that South Park episode. They took our job. They took our jobs and all this and that. And
they took the white guy out of Cracker Barrel.
It's gonna be fine.
Right,
sure
guys.
They still have the same
it's
biscuits.
all right.
Everything's fine.
Just so long as they have my fried okra, I'm fine.
You know what? Honestly, though, I'm still not going to go there. I don't know. Like, I don't because I never have. Right,
dude,
except
it's
maybe
like
once.
The most Americana
like,
breakfast lunch fare you could possibly get. Like if you want, just like what's American? It's Cracker Barrel. You go to Cracker Barrel, you get.
But I can make American food.
Well, sure.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying, like, if you're gonna go somewhere, and not spending, like, I just want a good old fashioned American breakfast. That's Cracker Barrel.
I was gonna say hanging, but come on, Internet. I'm kidding.
If you want
around.
a good old fashioned lynching, you go to Cracker Barrel. No, it's not like that. I like Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, so the internet should kind of get over it, right? We have the ability to kind of blow up our outrage, and I think as much as the left would get, the woke and the outrage culture and all that sort of thing. Maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit on the right too.
Yeah.
And we should all just relax a little bit, right? No, I don't think there was a whip in the K, right? Come on. For real, bro?
Right.
You mean?
I thought like you're like saying that there's like a slave in the barrel. Like what's
somebody decomposing? Like,
like, what are you talking about?
Why are you guys so hardcore, man? I had no idea. But yeah, to like take your conspiracies just down a notch.
Down a notch, guys. Come on, relax. Yeah. Everything's gonna be all right.
It's just a business.
So I do want to point out, I noticed that you're wearing our new logo.
Speaking of branding.
Speaking of branding and our new logo.
Marketing helped him out here. Yeah, it's comfy, man. Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah, we ourselves went through a new branding.
That's right.
We took out Design Group. We just stuck with De Milano, which is my last name, obviously. And then just stuck with that D in the circle there.
Mostly racially motivated, I would say. Too.
Yeah. That D is a noose, actually.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's right.
No, we're not shying away from it.
But like, yeah, sometimes you do need a refresh, a new brand. But we evolved it. We didn't stray to the font's the same.
Yeah.
The D icon is the same. We changed the lockup a little bit.
Yeah.
And took off Design Group. But
I like that. That's an interesting idea, man. Seriously, on the rebranding idea and the size of things, right? In diving into that as a concept, I thought it was interesting. And again, I will go back to Metallica, but because part and parcel of Metallica as a brand, right? They're a band to start, but along with that comes a particular culture. It paints a picture, or it used to. I mean, it's generations deep now, but it used to have, okay, what's that guy look like?
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes. He drinks a 6-pack of cheap beer because he's working class. He's got ripped jeans on. He's a young man. He's busting his ass every day during the day. And he's got a battle vest with a bunch of patches on it. He's a thrash metal guy.
Yeah.
Right? It's a whole thing. It's a whole culture. When when it comes time for that logo to like be defined, right? The Metallica, and all we need now is just really like, I don't even need to see the letters. You can change the word, right? There's Metallica font, right? With the sharp at the edge, right? So what I have seen is that, oh, okay, I get it. So the bigger the thing, it hits this weird thing where like, you know, there's a hammer in the logo because I'm a carpenter. Okay, that's entry level. All the way to this amorphous shape that looks like a check mark, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's Nike.
Yeah.
What? Right? But the onus is on that organization now, armed with enough power, right, and just wherewithal to then be the influence. Like, we'll define this for you, right? You don't have to define what we are, right? As in the beginning, I see it now, like, oh, okay, yeah. Just so you know, we're in the business of building stuff, hence the hammer in the logo, right? And that's one thing, but it's weird. I never considered that there's this like evolution. So like, we're going to define it. We're going to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
we explain to you. I never considered that. And it's kind of cool. Like, makes a hell of a lot more sense now with our redesign.
Absolutely. It's funny it's interesting. Like with the Metallica, like, you know, that shape of those letters, that's Metallica, 100%. You know,
100%.
And it reminds me of a friend. Shout out to a friend out in Illinois. His name's Herb. But he's like, his social media account's like the American. Yeah. And he took off his shirt one time. He just says American tattooed with the Metallica font. Okay. So it's like even like fonts, you can be able to like, oh, that's Metallica. That's Metallica. Right. Yeah. But it's like perfect for him though. If you know, he's the best dude ever. But he's just American tattooed on his chest in the Metallica font. Dude, come on. That's awesome.
Bold, man. He's gonna be one of those dudes. I watch those I think they're propaganda, like CIA plant videos about like how if anybody should dare to invade the United States kind of thing, and just to measure the military. Dude, he's because they always say, like, I was just watching one recently, like this British guy that reacts that I love. So he's like watching it. I think he's former military. So he's like, holy shit, they have all those boats and the guns and da-da-da-da-da. And they get all like military and they're giving you the planes by name and the whole thing. But then eventually about 2/3 of the way through the video,
I think I know where you're going with this.
Right? They're like, and by the way, and I think it was the Japanese emperor stated as such. It's like, if you should ever land, step foot as an enemy on the American soil, rest assured there would be a rifle behind every blade of grass. Which is badass.
It's completely badass. Like, okay, if you happen to make it through this gauntlet,
never gonna happen.
And then come into our country,
bro, you're gonna
have every Billy Bob jumping on their four-wheel with their rifles and their guns. Like,
and then God forbid you should unite us, because well, I should say this is very sweeping thing, but most of the bullshit that we argue about in this country, as far as I can see, is as a result of how nice it is here, right? We have the luxury to bitch, moan, and complain about the fucking Cracker Barrels. Who gives a fuck? Right? But since I have that luxury, if you dare to step foot here, we'll drop all that. Wait, what were we arguing about? Doesn't matter. But by the way, who are these assholes with guns?
Everybody take arm. We're all on the same side.
Everybody's going to unite.
Flags off the side, the back of our
Big
trucks.
Old flags. Everybody. There's going to be like
with his American
and gang members and clan. Everybody's going to just unite. Like, whoa. Yeah. It's like that O'Doyle Rules from whatever movie. Yeah. It's like, don't come fucking with us, man. We'll unite real quick. Yep. Anyways, so but your boy sounds like the poster child for that moment.
He is literally the poster child.
Just takes off his sunglasses, like, who the fuck are these people?
And if you make it through this gauntlet, you beat Herb. And you're done.
He's got like a mounted machine gun on his pickup truck.
Love him, dude. Yeah. Oh man. I will say one in closing. Yeah. One thing that aggravates me of like band names, especially in heavy metal, is like you can't read half the words. Like Lorna Shore, like,
dude, the heavier the music,
you can't even read those words. It's like you got to decrypt it.
You know, there's actually a generator, a logo generator for bands that it's like the more obscure the metal. So like power metal, right? Everybody loves some power metal. Very legible.
Yeah, power metal.
Yeah, right. Bold. Yes. Iconography. I get it. Little flames if you're going crazy, right? But by the time you get to the most hard, like extreme, like grindcore, grunge, it looks like a pile of sticks. I don't know what it's.
I didn't know what it is.
In fact, I'm so that guy. I don't care if you're gonna judge me because now I'm just too old. Right? There was a guy in Jersey Mike's, and he walked by. He had like some leg tattoos. He was pretty well inked up. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, it's kind of a life for this guy, right? So he walks by, and he's got a band shirt on. It was totally illegible. I don't know what the hell it says. So I abandoned my cool guy card because I was like, looking, I'm trying, can I an album title, a song title, something. So I just looked over, like, hey man, what's the band? You know, I didn't have gear on myself, so he doesn't know. He probably thinks I'm just some schlep, you know, asking stupid questions. And he told me whatever it is, you know, some wild name. And I was like, all right. And I looked it up and it was really good, right? But there was a moment when he looked at me and just judged me, you know, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, this ain't no Randy Travis, bro. Right. Some heavy shit.
Come on. So,
anyways, but yeah, I know about those others. All right. With that was a good one. Let's get out of here. So, from the iconic era of advertising to the digital age, I'm Chris.
And I'm Ernie.
Keep it legendary.